I like this nib. Nice and juicy. Fast and free and everything I like nibs to be. I have a lot of stuff that I should probably just throw out. What am I going to draw here? Let's come up with something. Starting with this scribbly page. Why do I see this as a landscape? How does that happen? Crazy grass. Maybe a haunted house with a turret. Smokestack. Is that what I see? Is that what this is becoming? Another smokestack. Little round window. Outbuilding. Is that what I see here? Why not? Let's make that look better. Take a paintbrush. Where do I have water? Don't have any water here anymore. It's all evaporated. I'm just for the last 5 minutes. Water, dirty water. And let's just turn this, make this house look even more menacing. Boy, this is dirty water. Storm clouds, a couple of lightning bolts. My 3/4 roommate just came in and we're having a bowl of soup, and then we're going to go draw the naked body in a life drawing class. Add some gingerbread here. Add shopping cart, $1 million. I don't know why I have this paintbrush. It's useless. I have a better paintbrush here, I think. I think this is just it. How much did I pay for this paintbrush? knows? Scepter Gold. Winsor & Newton? You're joking. They made this brush? I have a hard time believing that. The ink is coming off of whatever. I must have had bottle of purple ink somewhere. So there it is. It's my little. I don't know how to paint. I don't know how to use a paintbrush correctly. Maybe that's why I never took up painting, because I never knew how to hold the brush right. Sable Synthetic. There. Add to shopping cart. $1 million. Pretty picture. Let's see what else can we do here. What would this turn into? This little pile. Can I do something fun with this? By being maybe more exact with how I decide to add the water to dissolve the ink. Why do I hold the brush way down there? Hold it up here so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you like when I hold the brush up there, don't you? Yeah, you do. Bet you do. No, I'm holding it back here. Let's just take ink right out of the tube here. This is ink right out of the dirty faded ink bottle. Back into the dirty water. So anyway, we're going to be drawing the figure and seeing what happens. With that. This is jiggly. That's really annoying. See? Annoying. It's like when you have a nib that doesn't stay put. Ooh, look at that pretty color. A little bit of aqua. Who knows? See what happens when I do this. Just make stripes going across, letting it dissolve. This is interesting. The water is sort of beating up on this paper. It's doing very interesting things. It's kind of fun though, the effects I'm getting. It's interesting to see the color of the ink that my pen was dipping in, or what the pen had dipped in 10 years ago. It was in the nib. Some of it is coming out now. What does this remind you of? One of the people that was watching both Wasky Squirrel and I, we were doing kind of a dual broadcast once, except what I had done is I had sent him 8 or 10 pens for him to try, and each of the pieces of paper I gave him, one for each pen, showed how I wrote a sample sentence. I did some sort of calligraphic scribbles. I did some other stuff, and then he wrote he took the pen and dipped it in ink and wrote on his side of the piece of paper. And the comment was regarding my side of the paper: whenever I see Per Gustafsson write, I lose the will to live, which I think is quite fun. I like that. That should be on my tombstone. So as you can see, the ink dissolves because this is non-waterproof ink. It's also probably very watered down. See what happens when I do something with this page. Again, I shouldn't be using this dirty ink, but we'll see what happens. Following these little, I mean, this could be a nice background for wavy patterns, maybe for a background for an animation or something that I might do. I think this was done at the Boston Pen Show last year. I don't know. Ooh, look at that. Whatever this color is very wet and dissolvey, where the blue maybe isn't so much. Yes, this whatever this color is dissolves really easily, whereas the blue ink is less dissolvey, more permanent, I guess is the word I want. Little checkerboard pattern there. See what happens to that when it dries. if it does anything. So are you people losing the will to live? Watching me take a perfectly good, ruined piece of paper and making it even more ruined? Sometimes these things are kind of fun. I'll show you some other examples where I where is the piece? Where is the journal? Ooh, I found something. No, it's not that journal. Where is it? It's not this one. This is the journal that I used to tear out the pages to scribble on. Maybe I don't have it here on this half of the house. Anyway, I used to have it in my other location where I did some live broadcasting. And I had a little bit more room than I have here. So that was probably it. I should try to find some better watercolor brushes. I must have them around here somewhere. Well, this ink that I'm dipping in, the ink in that bottle is, and maybe I dipped it in the water. This ink is pretty faded anyway. Get some red ink out. Yeah, let's get some red ink. You know what using red ink is called? Rubricate. When a calligrapher or someone doing manuscripts would use red ink, that was called rubricating. You didn't know that, did you? Don't say that you didn't learn something watching me today. Rubricate. I wonder if they have similar names when you use green ink or blue ink, argenticate, or verdigate, or whatever the root word is for blue or green. Argent, that's not azuricate. That's the word I want. I once created a guide we used here at Open Studios, and the cover was printed on red paper, cardstock, and there was a bird, a raven, holding a paintbrush in its hand. And we argenticated it. We added a little silver ferrule on the drawing with silver, reflective silver ink from one of those gel pens they used to make. And I called it argenticating, which, using the system of rubrication, I felt was correct. But I was making it up, but it might be true. There might be a logic to that. Argenticate. Sometimes it's fun after you do this to go in with the pen on top of the wet, and then you get the ink bleeds, dissolves into the wet paper. I normally don't like doing that. Sometimes it can be fun, but I generally start with the ink, the pen and ink, and then I wet the paper. Rubricate. I'll leave that bottle here. I was going to move it into the other room, but it's kind of fun to get a splash of red in my doodlings. Four people are watching me. No one wants to say hello, though, which is fine. You don't have to. Let's do the same thing here with this one. Let's see what happens when we do this through the field of inked lines. This wasn't as much fun as when I did it before. So I'm changing my plans here. Still has some red ink from dipping it into the red bottle of ink. So the red is being pulled into the wet. Have you lost the will to live yet, people? It is neat watching the ink sort of dissolve and separate into its colors that made it up. Sometimes you take perfectly good black ink out of the bottle and you get it wet, and some of it turns brown, some of it turns blue. It's probably why I don't do this much because I can't control it. When I can't control it, you get cranky. Bye, everyone.